This video will present an overview of some of the basic features and characteristics of the Litera corpus. The Litera corpus is an audio-textual English-Spanish parallel literary corpus. In other words, it contains two types of data format, text and audio. It is a bilingual corpus. The text and their translations have been aligned at the sentence level. Its domain is English language literary works. By using literary text, we have been able to add the audio from the corresponding audiobooks to the segmented and aligned text. The corpus is actually located as a subcorpus in two different corpora, the Cluvi corpus and the Sensogal corpus, both hosted at the University of Vigo, in Vigo, Spain. The Cluvi corpus is a collection of parallel corpora with Galician as the central language, although it contains a variety of other language pairs as well. The Sensogal corpus is a collection of semantically annotated parallel corpora, many of which are taken directly from the Cluvi corpus. Although the exercises in this video are specifically intended for working with the Litera subcorpus, many of the basic skills gained here can also be applied to the other subcorpora within Cluvi. Instructional videos for searching Litera via the Sensogal corpus are available on Litera's corresponding homepage in Sensogal. This three-part tutorial will consist of a series of short exercises aimed at drawing the user's attention to some of the different features and search capabilities of the corpus. Each exercise question will be shown on the screen, at which point the user should pause the video and attempt to answer the question. Then unpause the video to see the solution. Part 1 will provide a general overview of some of Litera's characteristics. Part 2 will focus on simple search queries, and Part 3 will focus on complex search queries as Litera provides a range of search options thanks to the use of regular expressions. So let's begin with the exercises. If you are accessing this video from the Litera homepage, you are ready to begin. You may choose your language preferences in the upper right-hand corner. This video will be using the English version of the corpus. If you are watching this video from a different source, you can find the Litera homepage at the link on the screen. Exercise 1. There are almost 2 million words in the corpus, 1,968,676 to be exact, 983,618 in English, and 985,058 words in Spanish. It is important to remember that corpora come in all different shapes and sizes. Some have millions of words, while other local DIY corpora may only have a few thousand. Corpus size will depend on many factors, such as research objectives, text availability, legal licensing, cost, human resources, and so on. In the case of Litera, many of the texts included in the corpus have been taken from the English Philology program at the University of Santiago de Compostela, except, of course, children's literature and young adult fiction, which were included to provide a wider range of registers. Exercise 2. The answer is 63,508. As we will see later on, a translation unit is a bilingual pairing that contains the same information in different languages. Exercise 3. The reference code for Virginia Woolf's Mark on the Wall is MRK, while the code for The Old Man in the Sea is OLD. These will be important later on when we search the corpus. Exercise 4. There are 59,128 words in Lord of the Flies and 5,555 translation units. Exercise 5. The book with the most words in English is Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen, 118,503. The book with the least is The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle, 225 words. This exercise is meant to bring up the idea of representativeness in a corpus. Even though children's books are included in the corpus, because of their brevity and small number, there are only 3. They make up less than 1% of the total number of words in the corpus. Exercise 6. The book with the most translation units is The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins, 6,628. Note that the book with the most words, Sense and Sensibility, does not have the most translation units. In fact, it has less than The Lord of the Flies, which contains almost half as many words as Sense and Sensibility, which brings us to our final question. Exercise 7. This is because on average, Sense and Sensibility contains many more words per translation unit than, say, Lord of the Flies. We can see this difference by looking at each individual text via the audiobooks option. The difference in terms of numbers of words per translation unit is quite clear. Now that you have a general understanding of the corpus, go to the next video for part 2 to begin the search exercises.